I died choking on my own blood. The taste of copper and regret flooding my mouth as my father's hands, those same hands that once signed my report cards, pressed the pillow down one final time. But death wasn't the end. It was a cruel rewind, slamming me back into my 28-year-old body on a rainy Tuesday in Brooklyn. 3 years before that suffocating night, my heart pounding like a war drum as the memories crashed in. Madeline, I whispered to my reflection in the cracked bathroom mirror. This time, you fight dirty and you win. The rain hammered the window of my tiny one-bedroom in Bushwick like it was trying to drown out the ghosts in my head. It was 2022, and I was alive again, flesh and bone, with the scars of my first life etched into my soul, but not my skin. I'd been a rising star at Vanguard Financial, crunching numbers for high-net-worth clients, building a modest trust fund from freelance gigs and smart investments, $85,000 that I'd scraped together for the nonprofit I dreamed of starting. One that helped single moms claw their way out of poverty like my own mom had before cancer took her. That fund was my lifeline, my legacy. And my father, Richard Rick Harlan, the charming real estate broker with a smile like a used car salesman, had eyed it like a wolf spotting a lame deer. In my first life, I'd trusted him. God, what a fool. He'd come to me 6 months before the end, all teary-eyed, spinning tales of his latest sure-thing development deal in Queens. Maddie.
Kiddo.
Just a short-term loan. You'll be an investor in something huge. I'd signed over access to the fund. Blind faith in the man who'd raised me after Mom died, raised me with belts and booze. Sure. But also with bedtime stories about Horatio Alger pulling himself up by his bootstraps. American dream bullshit. I know now. He drained it dry. $85,000 vanished into his black hole of bad bets and mistresses. When the auditors came knocking at my job, I took the fall, falsified records. They said, because he'd forged my signatures. Fired, blackballed, drowning in debt and despair. I confronted him one stormy night in his over-leveraged brownstone. He laughed. Then rage took over. Pillow.
Darkness. Now?
Fuck that. I was back. And the first thing I did was smash the piggy bank of trust. My phone buzzed on the Formica counter, Dad's name flashing like a warning siren. I hadn't spoken to him in weeks. Not since I'd accidentally let slip to his golf buddies about his shady side hustles. The text read, I disown you. Talk to my lawyer. My thumbs flew across the screen. Okay. Then, heart racing, I attached the screenshots, bank transfers, emails, the forensic accounting report I'd paid a hacker buddy from my old college days to dig up last night.
P.S.
Enjoy explaining this $85,000 fund theft to the SEC.
Love.
Your daughter.
Send.
The whoosh echoed like a gunshot. I sank to the floor, laughing until tears mixed with the snot running down my face. This was it, the first strike in a war I wouldn't lose. But revenge isn't a sprint, it's a marathon through moral minefields. And I was lacing up my boots with steel toes. By morning, the shitstorm hit. My inbox exploded. Voicemails from Dad's lawyer. A frantic call from my half-sister Lena, the golden child he'd always favored. And a ping from my boss at Vanguard, Carla Ruiz, asking if I was okay because some wild rumors are flying about your family. I ignored them all, brewed a pot of black coffee strong enough to strip paint, and mapped out phase 2. In my first life, I'd played nice, let the betrayal fester like an untreated wound. This time, I'd cauterize it with fire. First up, the coffee shop on Knickerbocker Avenue, where I met Jax.
My ghost from the past.
In life, one. He'd been the barista who slipped me free lattes and bad poetry. We'd hooked up once. Regretted it twice. But he had connections, low-level IT guy at a firm that serviced real estate brokers like Dad. Madeline Harlan, he drawled, sliding my Americano across the counter, his tattooed arms flexing under the fluorescent lights. You look like you just clawed your way out of hell. Close enough, I said, forcing a grin. Listen, I need a favor. Deep dive on Rick Harlan's finances. Offshore accounts. Shell companies, the works. His eyes narrowed. That mix of curiosity and caution that made him so damn useful.
Why?
Your old man's always been a sleaze. But this sounds personal. It is. I leaned in, voice low. He stole from me. 85 grand. And if I don't get it back, plus interest, he's gonna bury me. Jax whistled, but nodded. By noon, he emailed me a dossier thicker than a Tolstoy novel. Dad's web of lies stretched from Cayman Islands trusts to a mistress in Jersey who doubled as his bookkeeper. The kicker? Lena knew. Emails from her. Casual as hell. Dad. Just wire the usual to my account. And hey, tell Maddie to chill, it's family business. Betrayal squared. My own sister. The one I'd babysat through braces and boyfriends. Complicit in the heist. I wanted to hurl my phone through the window. But no, channel it. I forwarded the choicest bits to Lena's work email at that boutique PR firm in Midtown. Subject: family business? Attached: her smoking gun correspondence. CC: her boss. The entire team. The fallout was poetic. Lena called at 2 p.m. Voice shrill as a tea kettle. You bitch. How could you? Dad's devastated. I put her on speaker, pacing my apartment like a caged tiger. Devastated? Like I was when he bled me dry? Or when you cashed those checks without a second thought? Silence. Then sobs, crocodile tears. I knew. It was for the family, Maddie. For us. Us doesn't include me. Apparently. I hung up, blocking her number. But the real poetry came at 4 p.m. Dad's lawyer, a weaselly type named Hargrove, showed up at my door with a non-disclosure agreement and a check for $50,000 settlement, he called it, eyes darting like he expected me to swing. I tore it up on the spot, shreds fluttering to the hallway carpet. Tell Rick this is just the appetizer. The main course is coming, and it's gonna taste like justice. Word spread fast in our toxic little family circle. Aunt Trish, Dad's sister, and my reluctant confidant in life one, texted, Maddie. Honey. What the hell? Rick's talking suicide. Bullshit. He'd faked that card before to guilt me into silence. I replied, if he's serious, here's the number for the hotline. Otherwise, tell him to lawyer up, for real this time. Night fell heavy, the city humming with oblivious energy. I couldn't sleep, the memories clawed at me, the pillow's smothering weight. Dad's whiskey breath whispering, you should have stayed out of it, kid.
But now.
I was the whisper in the dark. Phase 3. Go public. In my first life, shame had kept me quiet. This time, I'd weaponized the spotlight. I drafted a Medium post, fingers flying, how my father stole my future and why I'm taking it back.
Raw.
Unfiltered details of the theft, the forgeries, the family complicity. No punches pulled, but careful, facts only. No libel bait. I scheduled it for dawn, then cracked open a bottle of cheap Merlot to toast the chaos. Dawn broke with my phone vibrating off the nightstand. The post had gone viral overnight. Retweets from finance influencers. Shares in women's rights groups. Holy shit. Maddie. Jax texted. You're trending on Twitter as Harlan Heist. I scrolled. Heart swelling then sinking. Dad's counter-narrative. A weepy Facebook live from his brownstone. Face crumpling like wet paper. My daughter's lying to destroy me. I've given her everything. Comments poured in. Half savage support for me. Half pitchforks calling me the ungrateful spawn. Controversy brewed. Just like I wanted. By 10 a.m., a reporter from the New York Post DM'd. Interview? This is gold. I met her at a diner in Williamsburg. Neutral ground amid the hipster brunch crowd. Elena Vasquez. Sharp as a stiletto. Probe gently at first. Madeline. Why air this now? Family laundry's usually washed in private. I sip my coffee. Black as my resolve. Because private got me killed, figuratively. At least. He didn't just steal money. He stole my shot at a life. And my sister? She enabled it. This isn't laundry. It's a crime scene. Her eyes lit up. Hook.
Line.
Sinker. The article dropped by evening. Daughter accuses tycoon dad of $85,000 theft in explosive family feud. Front page fodder. The backlash hit like a freight train. Trolls dox my address, thanks.
Internet.
Old college friends unfriended me en masse. Too messy. Mads. But the allies emerged too. Carla from Vanguard offered freelance consulting. Whispering, we always knew you were too good for that place. And Jax? He showed up at my door with Thai takeout and a USB drive. Deeper dig. Your dad's got ties to a Ponzi scheme, victims galore. You want to blow it wide open. Temptation nod. In my first life, I'd uncovered that thread but buried it to protect the family name. Now, fuck protection. Do it, I said, pulling him inside. We poured over docs till midnight, plotting the next leak to the Times. But as his hand brushed mine, sparks flew, old chemistry reigniting. Maddie, he murmured, this revenge. It's consuming you. Good, I shot back, but doubt flickered. Was I becoming the monster? No time for philosophy, the war raged on. Week 2 blurred into a frenzy. Dad lawyered up hard, suing me for defamation, $2 million. The papers crowed. Lena went radio silent, but her Instagram stories screamed passive-aggressive, beach bakis with real family, captions like, blood doesn't always mean loyalty. I countered with a GoFundMe for my nonprofit, Rising from Ruins, channeling the viral sympathy into seed money. Donations trickled, then flooded, $20K in 48 hours. Irony tasted sweet, strangers rebuilding what kin destroyed. But the controversy deepened. A podcaster invited me on the ethics of family annihilation, and I went, voice steady as I unpacked the betrayal. It's not about money. It's about trust. He taught me the American dream. Work hard. Family first. Then he torched it. Listeners ate it up. But haters branded me vindictive harpy. One viral tweet, Madeline Harlan, proving daughters are the real villains since 2022. I laughed it off publicly. But alone. It stung like salt in a fresh wound. Jax became my anchor. Nights tangled in sheets and strategy sessions. You're brave, he'd say, tracing the invisible scars on my back. Brave or reckless? Phase 4 loomed, the confrontation. I'd baited Dad into a meeting. Neutral ground, a park bench in Prospect, leaves turning fire red like my fury. He arrived late, flanked by Hargrove, looking every bit the fallen king, rumpled suit, eyes bloodshot. "Maddie," he croaked, "this has to stop. You're ruining us." "Us," I scoffed, standing tall. "There is no us. You killed that when you suffocated my dreams, literally." The word slipped. Too raw, his face paled. "What the hell does that mean?" "Means I know you, Dad. Better than you think." Hargrove blustered about settlements, but I waved him off. "Tell your Ponzi pals hi for me. The Times drops tomorrow." Dad lunged, not violent, just desperate grab for my arm. "Please."
Kiddo.
"Family." I wrenched free, heart thundering. "Family? You disown me via text." I said okay, and meant it. I walked away, spine steel, but tears blurred the path. Victory felt hollow, a Pyrrhic echo. The Times piece landed like a bomb. Harlan Empire crumbles, alleged Ponzi ties expose. Dad's deals collapsed overnight. Clients fleeing like rats. Lena's firm fired her. Reputational risk. She showed up at my door that night, mascara streaked, begging. "Maddie, I was wrong. Help me." Controversial decision time. In life 1.
Idé forgiven.
Let her worm back in, big mistake. Now, I handed her the USB. Start your own truth. But stay the hell away from me. She left sobbing, but I felt free or fractured. Climax brewed in a courtroom. Dad's defamation suit turning circus. I testified. Voice unwavering. The theft. The lies. The emotional terrorism. His cross-exam? A meltdown. She's lying. My own blood. The judge tossed the case. Sanctions on him for frivolous filing. Outside. Paparazzi swarmed. I flipped them off, Jax's hand in mine. But the twist? As the dust settled, a letter arrived, Mom's handwriting, from her safety deposit box, unlocked by the scandal's scrutiny. "Maddie, if you're reading this, Rick's poison spread. He didn't just steal money, he hid your inheritance from me, $200K, siphoned years ago. Forgive if you can, fight if you must." My knees buckled. The betrayal ran deeper. Generational rot. I confronted the void, Dad in cuffs now. Ponzi charges sticking. Lena, rebuilding in therapy.
Me?
The nonprofit thrived. $500,000 raised, helping women like Mom. But in quiet moments, I wondered, did revenge heal? Or just scar over? Jax proposed over rooftop wine. City lights winking approval. "Marry me, warrior." I said yes, but whispered to my ghosts, "This life's mine, no rewinds needed." Yet, as wedding bells loomed, a final text from an unknown number. "You think it's over? Watch your back. Dad's doing time. Lena's clean, but who? The cycle? Maybe. Or just paranoia." Epilogue. I stood on that rooftop, wind whipping my veil, vowing silently, betrayal dies with me. Reborn. Unbowed. The wedding was a quiet affair. Just Jax,
Me?
and a justice of the peace in a rooftop garden overlooking the East River. The kind of spot where the city felt conquerable rather than crushing. It was late spring 2023, 6 months after the courtroom victory, and I'd traded my war paint for a simple white sundress that fluttered like a flag of truce. "I do," I said, slipping the ring on Jax's finger. his grin wide enough to split the skyline. But even as we kissed, that anonymous text gnawed at me. Watch your back. Paranoia. Or prelude. In my reborn life, I'd learned to trust the itch between my shoulder blades. Honeymoon was a road trip down the Pacific Coast Highway, Jax's idea. To wash the East Coast grime off us. We blasted Springsteen. Scarfed clam chowder in Big Sur. Made love in motels with ocean views. For stretches, I forgot the ghosts. Dad rotting in Rikers on fraud counts. Lena piecing her life back in a one-room in Queens. Sending awkward holiday cards I never opened. My nonprofit, Harlan's Hope, I'd kept the name. Twisted it into armor. Was booming, board meetings in Soho lofts. Grants from foundations that loved a redemption arc. You're a phoenix, Maddie, Carla said over Zoom. Her new VP title gleaming. Burned bright, rose higher. But the itch persisted. Back in Brooklyn by July. Unpacking seashells and regrets. My phone lit up with a blocked caller. I answered on impulse. Madeline Harlan? A woman's voice. Clipped. Professional. This is Detective Laura Klein. NYPD, Financial Crimes. We need to talk about your father. My stomach dropped like I'd missed a step on the stairs. He's locked up. What now? Not him.
You.
Coffee at a precinct in Lower Manhattan. Air thick with stale donuts and suspicion. Klein was mid-40s. No-nonsense suit. Eyes like a hawk scanning for lies. She slid a folder across the Formica table. Wire transfers. Timestamps matching my old fund withdrawals. These look familiar. I flipped through. Pulse hammering. Dad's theft. I exposed it. What's the angle?
She leaned in.
The angle is, these wires didn't just go to his accounts. They bounced to yours, post-theft. Looks like you funneled dirty money back. Maybe to cover tracks. Or profit. Bullshit. In life one. Sure, Dad had framed me that way. And I'd been too broken to fight. But this? Forged echoes. That's impossible. I have records, clean ones. Records can be bought. Her stare drilled. Your viral takedown? Made you a hero. But heroes don't launder. We're subpoenaing your accounts. I walked out into the humid hell of summer streets. Jax waiting in the Jeep. Oblivious. What's wrong? He asked. But I waved it off. Just ghosts. Lie number one in our marriage. That night, I dug alone while he slept, hacking into my own digital footprint via Jax's tools. There, subtle alterations. Timestamps fudged. IPs traced to Lena's apartment. My sister. Striking back from the shadows. Cunning. I'll give her that. In life one. She'd been the enabler. Now. The avenger? Rage boiled. But so did caution. Direct confrontation? She'd play victim again. No. I'd play her game.
Deeper.
Phase 5. Infiltrate. I called Aunt Trish. The family wild card. Voice honeyed. Trish. It's Maddie. Lena's spiraling. Can you get me her new address?
Outreach.
You know. Trish. Ever the soft touch. Texted it within hours. A walk-up in Astoria. Greek delis and bodegas scenting the air. I staked it out 2 nights later. Parked in Jax's beater Civic. Baseball cap low. Lena emerged at 8 p.m. Totes heavy with Whole Foods virtue signaling, kale, almond milk. The trappings of reinvention. She looked gaunt. Haunted. But her stride screamed defiance. Into a dive bar, she went. The Parthenon, neon flickering like false promises. I followed, heart a drum solo. Dim lights. Ouzo haze. A jukebox crooning Dylan. She nursed a gin at the corner booth. Phone glowing. I slid in opposite, casual as a ghost. Fancy meeting you here, sis. Her head snapped up, eyes widening like saucers. Maddie? What the fuck? Language. I teased, signaling the bartender for 2 shots. Heard you were in town. Thought we'd catch up, blood and all. She laughed, bitter as the liquor. Blood? You spilled ours on the internet. Dad's in prison because of you. Because of him, I corrected, clinking glasses. And you, cashing those checks. But hey, water under the bridge. Or wires, in your case. Her face strained. What do you mean? Subpoenas? Lena. My accounts. Your handiwork. I watched her squirm, the telltale flush creeping up her neck. Guilty. It was a warning. You took everything, my job, my life. Dad said to hit back. Make you doubt. Dad? From jail? The pieces clicked. Prison calls. Smuggled instructions. Family syndicate. Unbroken. She deflated, whispering, he misses you. We all do. Misses the mark. More like. I stood, dropping cash for the drinks. Tell him the next hit's on him. And Lena, don't frame family. It's bad karma. Driving home, Jax's text piled up. Where are you? Dinner's cold. Guilt twisted. I couldn't drag him into this swamp, not yet. But the detective's words echoed. Heroes don't launder. If Lena's forgery stuck, Harlan's hope crumbled. My fresh start poisoned. Week 3 of the witch hunt, Klein hauled me in again. This time with a raid on my office. Cops in tactical vests, sealing boxes of donor files while donors watched from the street. Phones out. Live streaming the spectacle. Harlan heist to Harlan hustle. The cheerin' screamed by morning. Backlash tsunami. Cancellations. Protests outside my brownstone. Thief in victim's clothing. Jax confronted me that night. Eyes stormy. Maddie.
Talk.
This isn't just Dad anymore. What's happening? I broke. Spilling the reincarnation secret. No. Not that. The sane version. Lena's sabotage. Dad's puppetry. He pulled me close.
Fierce.
Then we fight together. But no more solos. Allies fortified. Carla lawyered up pro bono. A shark named Theo Voss who shredded the forensics in deposition. Amateur alterations. IP traces to Astoria. Lena cracked under questioning. Tearful confession on record. Dad made me. He said it'd bring her back to us. The twist deepened at arraignment.
Dad.
Orange jumpsuit. Leered from the dock. Maddie. Baby. It's all a misunderstanding. But his eyes, cold, calculating, betrayed the lie. Post-hearing. Theo pulled me aside. One more thing. Your mom's letter? Not the only secret. Rick had an accomplice in the original theft, not Lena. Someone at Vanguard. Carla? No, deeper. My old mentor, Victor Lang. The silver fox who'd fast-tracked me. Now retired to the Hamptons. Victor knew, Theo said. Handing docs. Signed off on the forgeries. Kept quiet for a cut. Betrayal cubed. Victor. The father figure I'd idolized. Complicit from the start. In life 1. He consoled me post-firing. Chin up, kid.
Lies.
I drove to the Hamptons alone. Jack's grounded. No vigilantes, storming his beachfront McMansion like a nor'easter. He answered the door in loafers and linen, martini in hand. Madeline, what a surprise. Cut the shit. Vic. I thrust the papers at him. You sold me out. For what? A beach view? His facade cracked, glass trembling. Rick was persuasive.
And you.
Ambitious. It was business. Business? You buried me. Memories surged the pillow. But now Victor's face overlaying Dad's. A hydra of hurt.
He sighed.
Theatrical. I regret it. Here's restitution. A check, $150K.
Clean.
Walk away. Controversial fork. Take the money. Vanish the evidence. Rebuild quietly. Or expose. Risk the nonprofit's fragile empire? I pocketed the check, but whispered. Too late for buyouts. Left him with an anonymous tip to Klein. Vanguard whistleblower incoming. Fallout. Victor indicted. Vanguard scandal erupting. My name cleared but tainted. Donors returned. Wary. Lena got probation. Community service at my nonprofit, Ironic Therapy. Dad? Life sentence loomed. Appeals failing. But the real climax, a midnight call from Rikers. Maddie, Dad rasped. You win. But remember, blood calls to blood.
Click.
Jax and I relocated to Portland, Oregon, rain-soaked reinvention. Far from New York Vipers. Harlan's Hope franchised west. Single moms thriving under my watch. Yet, in dreams, the pillow pressed. Whispers of watch your back. 1 year on, pregnant with our first twist of joy, I found the final letter, tucked in Victor's seized files. Mom's words again. Rick wasn't the monster alone. I knew his flaws. Stayed for you. Forgive to free yourself. I burned it on our balcony, ashes scattering like old sins. Reborn. Yes, but redemption? That's the endless American hustle. Portland suited us like a well-worn flannel, mossy, unpretentious, a world away from Brooklyn's bite. By fall 2024, our daughter, Echo, Jax's nod to resilience, my echo of second chances, was 6 months old, all chubby fists and gummy grins, oblivious to the storm clouds I'd outrun. Harlan's Hope had chapters in 3 states now. Boardrooms buzzing with impact metrics. 200 moms housed. 150 jobs secured. Carla visited once, toasting with IPAs at a brewpub. You did it.
Mads.
From ashes to empire. But empires crack. The anonymous text resumed in October. Sporadic at first. Echo looks just like you. Careful on walks. Then photos, snapped from shadows. Our stroller in Washington Park. Jax pushing her through leaf-strewn paths. Stalker? Or specter? I installed cameras. Changed routines. But sleep fractured into shards. Jax noticed. His IT wizardry tracing pings to burner apps. Could be nothing, he'd soothe. But his eyes said otherwise. The break came Thanksgiving Eve. A package arrived. No return address, manila envelope. My name in block letters.
Inside.
Faded Polaroids, me at 10. Mom's funeral. Dad's arm around a teary Lena. Backed with scrawl, the truth you buried. Come home, or it goes public. Home, New York. Buried? My gut twisted, the reincarnation. The literally killed slipped to Dad. Had I confessed more in some blackout moment?
No.
Impossible. But the photos hit a CD, labeled Family Secrets. I played it alone. Laptop glow casting long shadows in our craftsman bungalow. Dad's voice. Tinny from prison tapes. Victor wasn't the only one. Your mother. She embezzled first. From the firm. Before cancer. I covered it for you. Lies or lightning. Then Lena. Sobbing. Maddie. I did the frames for Dad. But the texts?
Not me.
Someone else's grudge. The CD ended with a click. Then static. Whispers? Madeline. Watch. I slammed it shut. Pulse roaring.
Mom.
A thief? It reframed everything. Her tired eyes, the late nights. Dad's resentment simmering like bad bourbon. In life one, I'd idolized her sainthood. Now, cracks spiderwebbed the pedestal. Jax walked in, Echo on his hip. Babe, you okay? I handed him the CD. Words tumbling. The works, rebirth, he stared. Then hugged. Whatever's true. We're in it. The new threats. It's generational poison. Mom started it. He popped it in. Listened stone-faced. We go public. Disarm it. Controversial again. Expose Mom's shadow. Taint the non-profit's purity? Or let the ghost hum me. I chose fight. Press conference.
Portland style.
Indie journalists crammed into a community center. New revelations in the Harlan saga, I announced. Voice steady. Echo cooing from Jax's arms. My family's not saints. Mom made mistakes, desperate ones. But secrets fester, truth heals. I released the CD transcripts, framing it as Redemption Arc 2.0. We're all flawed. Harlan's hope proves that. The spin worked, sort of. Headline softened. Harlan heir unearths matriarch's past in bid for closure. Donors doubled down, moved by the vulnerability. But the threats escalated. Slashed tires on our Subaru. A brick through the window etched liar. Jax beefed security. But I felt the noose tightening. Back to New York. Or die trying. Christmas loomed. We flew east despite the chill in my veins. Aunt Trish hosted. Neutral turf in her Jersey rancher. Tree twinkling like false cheer. Lena showed. Awkward hug. Congrats on the baby.
I'm
trying. Dad sent a card from inside. Merry Christmas. Blood. I burned it in the sink. Flames dancing like demons. But the confrontation brewed at Trish's dinner. Turkey cooling as the envelope resurfaced. Mailed to her. Forwarded unwittingly. I opened it there. Family frozen. More photos. Mom and Victor. Intimate. Dated pre-Dad. Your saint was a sinner, the note read. She stole for him. Dad knew, killed for it. Gasps rippled. Trish paled. Rick. He confessed to me. After your death scare. The pillow? Rage over her affair. He thought you knew. My first death, flashed vivid. Not murder premeditated, but fury-fueled snap.
Dad.
Discovering Mom's betrayal via my innocent question. Pillow as punishment. Reborn to avenge a half-truth. Lena whispered. The threats?
Me.
At first.
Then. Victor's son.
He hates you for ruining his dad. Twist upon twist. Victor's boy. Ethan, shadowy finance bro I'd ghosted in college. Now a grudge nursling. He emerged days later, cornering me in a midtown cafe. Latte steaming like his ire. You destroyed everything.
Maddie.
Dad's broke. Broken. This ends with you exposed, Mom's whore. Dad's killer enabler. I leaned in, unflinching. Ethan, your dad's filth was his own. Walk away, or join him in cuffs. He laughed. Manic. Too late. The full dossier drops tomorrow. Your rebirth rant? Tapes from Dad's calls. You sound insane. Insane? The slip, my subconscious sabotage? No time. I alerted Klein en route. Her team nabbing Ethan mid-upload in his Soho loft. Dossier seized. Mom's affair docs. Dad's pillow confession. My crazy ramblings twisted into manifestos. Climax in Ethan's interrogation room. Glass-walled. Me observing with Jax. Ethan cracked. It was payback. For Victor. For the family you torched. Klein turned to me post-arrest. Case closed. But your call, press charges? Controversy crested. Ethan, ruined. But redeemable? Like Lena. Like me. I chose mercy. Restitution over bars. Therapy mandated. Cycles break with choice. I told the press outside. Back in Portland. Snow dusting the evergreens. Echo's first steps wobbled across our rug. Jax knelt beside. Cheering. Look at her go. I watched. Tears pricking. Reborn not just in body, but spirit, betrayals buried. Not festering. But the final twist whispered in quiet. A pregnancy test. Positive again. Boy or girl, blood calls to blood. But I teach them flight, not fight. Yet. One last envelope arrived. Postmarked Rikers. Dad's scrawl. Proud of you.
Kid.
End it right, forgive. I did. In ashes, once more. American dream? Messy. Bloodied. But mine. Spring 2025 bloomed brutal in Portland. Cherry blossoms warring with relentless rain, mirroring the tumult in my swelling belly. Echo toddled through it all, a tiny tornado of curiosity, while Jax and I navigated the nonprofit's expansion, Seattle satellite opening, gala in the Pearl District with donors toasting Madeline's miracle. I'd become the face, keynotes at women's conferences, TEDx whispers of a talk, dying to live. One woman's war on family secrets. Flattering. But the weight pressed. Every applause echoed Dad's proud of you. Every shadow hid Ethan's glare. The mercy pact with Ethan backfired subtly. He complied, check for $75,000 to Harlan's Hope. Weekly therapy logs submitted like homework. But his emails trickled. Healing.
Mads.
But truth hurts both ways. Attached, innocuous at first. Mom's old love letters to Victor. Poetic regrets. Then, edgier, transcripts of Dad's prison therapy. Unfiltered venom. Maddie was always Mom's clone. Too soft. Too stubborn. The pillow? Mercy kill for her sins. I shared with Jax. His jaw clenching. Block him. This is manipulation 101. But blocking ghosts? Impossible. Klein called mid-May. Ethan's clean. But chatter. Dad's appealing. Claiming new evidence. Your rebirth. Tapes as proof you're unstable. Framing him. Unstable. The word slithered. Coiling around my sanity. In quiet hours. Nursing echo. I'd rock and replay. The death throes. The rewind jolt. Was it real? Or trauma-forged delusion? My brain's desperate rewrite? Therapy helped Dr. Baez. No bullshit Oregonian with a sailor's mouth. Reincarnation or not. Maddie. It's your truth. Own it. Or it owns you. Owned it I tried. Channeling into the TEDx stage June 1st. Spotlight hot as judgment. I died, I said to the hushed crowd. Not literally, okay? Maybe, but betrayed so deep it felt like snuffing out. Gasps. Then nods. I unpacked it all. Theft. Pillow. Secrets unearthed. Revenge? It tasted like ash. Forgiveness? Still burning. But rebirth, whatever form, taught me, family's not fate. It's forged. Standing ovation. Viral clips. Book deal offers. Harlan's Hope hit $2 million budget. Moms mentored into MBAs. Lena even visited, plane ticket my olive branch gift, cooing over echo. Tentative truce. I'm sorry.
Mads.
For everything. Forgiven, I said, meaning it halfway. Blood thinned, but not vanished. Climax crashed July 4th. Independence Day irony thick as firework smoke. Dad's appeal hearing. Virtual from Rikers. Me testifying via Zoom from our living room. Echo napping nearby. Judge Harlan, no relation. Thank God. Stern in robes. Dad on screen.
Gaunt.
Galvanized. Your Honor. My daughter's vendetta, fueled by delusions, destroyed me. Delusions. He played the tapes. My park slipped to him. You killed me literally. Garbled. Ghostly. Then Ethan's dossier. Leaked despite seizure. Mom's affair as motive for Dad's mercy. My insanity as perjury. Courtroom erupted. Lawyers shouting. Screen freezing on Dad's smirk. My counsel.
Theo.
Hammered back. Coerced tapes. Fabricated narrative.
S.
Harlan's a survivor. Not suspect. Recess dragged. I paced. Jax's hand steadying. He's bluffing. But the judge reconvened with a bomb. Appeal granted new trial.
S. Harlan.
Your credibilities. Questioned. Mental eval recommended. Questioned. The word detonated.
Outside.
Press swarmed our proxy feed. Harlan unhinged. Trending. Donors dialing back. Lena texted. Saw the news. You okay? Ethan. Karma's a bitch. I snapped. Drove to the airport that night. Jax protesting. Where? New York. End this. Alone. Belly heavy with our son. Ultrasound, pinky swear. I stormed Rikers. Visitor's booth sterile as a morgue. Dad shuffled in. Chains clinking like accusations. Maddie, he beamed. Frail facsimile of the monster. You came. Cut the act. Voice steel. The tapes. The appeal, your Hail Mary. He leaned close. Glass barrier fogging. Truth sets free.
Kid.
You died? Maybe. But I didn't kill you then or now. Mom's ghost did. With her lies. Join me, recant. We'll split the settlement. Twist gut punch his eyes. Not cold. But cracked. Regret? Or ruse?
Why? Dad?
After everything. Because blood. He tapped the glass. Watch your back. Hers?
Now.
Hers? Mom's? Delirium. I left. But the seeds sprouted doubt. Back in Portland. Eval with DR. Reyes. Trauma echoes. Maddie. Not madness. But the trial looms September. Controversy peaking. Op-eds debating family justice or vendetta. Protests at chapters. Free Rick versus Justice for Moms. I countered with a live stream. Raw. Unscripted. I'm no saint. Died betrayed. Reborn raging. But this? It's truth versus tyranny. Viral again, support surged. Eval cleared me stable. Trial day. Manhattan courthouse a circus. Me waddling in at 38 weeks. Jack's my shadow. Dad testified. Oscar-worthy. My girl's lost, hallucinations from stress. Cross? Brutal. Theo unveiled the masterstroke, prison hacks. Dad directing Ethan via smuggled phones. Puppet master. The judge sneered. Appeal denied. Sentence upheld. Plus conspiracy add-ons. Dad's wail echoed as bailiffs dragged him. Maddie. Blood. I turned away. Contractions teasing, a son coming. Untainted. Epilogue. Little River born October 10th. Rainy dawn. Jack's weeping joy. Harlan's hope global now. Chapters in Toronto. London. Lena godmother. Ethan distant donor. Dad, letters cease. Silence a gift. Years blur. Echo 3. River 1. Romping in our yard. I write the book. Reborn in betrayal. Bestseller. Film whispers. But at night, pillow shadows fade. The itch?
Gone.
One final anonymous note. Slipped under our door. You won. Watch forward now. Mom's handwriting? Or mine? Subconscious closure? Reborn. I choose. Happy. Hard one. American as apple pie, scarred. Sweet. Surviving.